Hi, it's Mr. Reisky. Today we'll start a video on Lesson 2. Its name is Variable Types. There's 3 kinds of variables in Lesson 2, 3 types of variables. The types are string, int, and double. Strings will more or less hold words or sentences. It'll hold things inside double quotes. Int stands for integer, so it'll hold whole numbers and their opposite. Like examples of int are 2, 3, 17, 0, minus 14, and so on. And then doubles are a special kind of number type that can hold very, very large numbers, very, very small numbers, and decimals. It's particularly helpful with decimals. Let's go ahead and get into BlueJ and practice some strings. I've got a skeleton already set up, and my skeleton has a comment. Actually, 3 single line comments, doesn't it? It says never name a class string. If you name your class string, you're going to have problems when you run your programs. Crazy problems that are really hard to decipher. So pay attention now. Do not name a class string. The specific reason for that is there already is a string class on your computer in your Java installation directory. And that will be overwritten with your class string.java if you name it string. So don't name something string. Okay? There'll be 2 words we use throughout this first part of the chapter: declare and initialize. Okay? When you declare a variable, you're giving it a type and name. Let's do that with a string. Let's declare a variable of type string named city. String is a type and city is the name. It has no value yet, but we've just declared a variable of type string named city. So if a quiz says declare a variable of type string named state, you would do something like string state semicolon. That's declaring our variables of type string. Initialize means to give your variable a value. Give a value to the variable that you've already declared. So I could say city equals Arcadia and state equals California. So I've declared a string named city, I have declared a string named state, and now I've initialized city to Arcadia, and I've initialized state to California. You display variables in a very easy manner. System.out.println as usual, and inside the parentheses goes simply the name of the variable without double quotes. I'll display them both here. Compile that, no problems, and run it. And on the screen I'll see Arcadia on one line because I used printlns, and California on the next line. Recall from chapter 1, lesson 1, if I don't use println but just use print, recall what's going to happen here. I'll get rid of my ln's. The second one really doesn't matter, but the first one certainly does. And we'll see now, that was my 2 print lines, Arcadia and California first, and then I used print, and that put Arcadia, California on the same line. If I put an ln here again, it doesn't matter because nothing is following it. You need to practice this. Watching me do it, listening to me talk about it is not going to get it done. Even reading the book is not going to make it understandable for most kids. You need to practice this. So if I want these guys on separate lines, again right now, it bunches them together in the same line. If I want to separate them, I got a couple options. I can put LN there like I just did in the first pair. Okay, and now they're separated. I could do this, and I hope you're pausing my video and doing the stuff with me. I could do print line city and state in the same print line. Now that's not quite right yet, but let's just make sure you understand it's not right. That's not Java. When you display two strings in the same print line, you must put a plus between them. And now I think it'll compile. Won't look great, we'll see. But it compiles and runs, and you see there it is. It put Arcadia, California in the same line, but bunched them together. That's not very nice looking. We can put a comma between them and make it a little better. But it'd be nice to have a space after the comma before the C, and so you can do it a couple ways. This is a silly way to do it. Put another pair of double quotes in the space there. It works. It'll look nice. Just this code itself is pretty silly. See, it looks nice in the output, but instead we could have just put that space with the comma, couldn't we? Put that comma space right there, and that's a much more sensible way to do it. So practice initializing and declaring string variables and displaying strings. One last thing, anything that's a key in the keyboard can be put into a string. Like a string named address, I could say address equals 180 Campus Drive. I've got numerals and letters there, and that's no problem. Whatever you put in the double quotes is going to come out on the screen, no problem. Practice this, guys. Practice your strings. Open the book up, do their tester code, run it, practice it, and practice it.